We all went to bed Tuesday night with the feeling that it was going to happen when we woke up Wednesday AM. I actually woke up a little earlier than usual. I like to get my sleep in on the weekdays because I usually cut back on sleep. But this isn't about me. This is about Lionel Messi. And although it is not 100% etched in stone, I don't think the ink's drying because I don't think the ink has been put onto paper. Everything has told us that Lionel Messi is coming to Inter Miami, is coming to Major League Soccer, which is not a minor detail. They are hand in hand, and we certainly have seen, based on the reporting, there was a great report on The Athletic of what Messi was going to get if he came, that this is a league move. This is a huge priority, and they will benefit infinitely more than Inter Miami, which will benefit in many ways, but not like the league. This is a move that puts a rocket ship on Major League Soccer, unlike anything could possibly have prior or since. I mean, you think of Pele to the Cosmos back in the day. Pele wasn't coming off winning a World Cup. Pele wasn't, the height of the information, social media age. There won't be another Lionel Messi. I love Cristiano Ronaldo, but across the board, he doesn't check everything off the list that Lionel Messi can do. So this is, as star power goes, singular in any sport. There is not anyone who could move, not LeBron James, not Aaron Judge, not Patrick Mahomes, not who's the great cricket player, Rohit, I don't know. None of those guys moving could get even close to what this will cause. We don't have to even project. We know that this is going to be a monumental move. So today on the Soccer OG, check out the Soccer OG podcast, where all podcasts are available, where you get your podcasts. There's a new one there. I talked to San Diego FC, or FC San Diego, the newest MLS team, CEO Tom Penn, about soccer coming there. This is another great development for Major League Soccer because, as you know, San Diego right on the border, you're pushing Liga MX's boundaries, and in that corridor where you have San Diego and Los Angeles, you have such a run of talent. So, I mean, so many good things, and obviously, full transparency, I'm an employee of MLS and Apple TV. I hope to be gainfully employed for the foreseeable future so I can sing from the mountaintops of all the great things that are happening. So, in that case, with all that, like and subscribe us here, because we'll talk MLS. As you can see, we'll talk about, this isn't just about MLS. This is about Messi. This is about the world footballing landscape and so much more. And I don't have any notes. So I'm kind of going on there's no teleprompter. Do people think I have a teleprompter here? I don't do teleprompters. I don't stage anything on occasion. You're getting from the source, very loosely edited, as you know, and I shoot from the hip. So we knew there was these three options, and we're always weighing which one was going to be the strongest. And I had a video a few weeks ago saying that I thought MLS had the strongest. You had the move to Saudi Arabia, which is, and Lionel Messi said it. He had an interview with Sport, I believe. He kind of said it. It was a money move. And if anyone in Saudi Arabia can tell me anything otherwise, I mean, obviously to help their league, I mean, it's a money move for MLS, but there's a lot more to it. This was purely money. Highest bidder, we will outbid everyone to get your services. And I think the bid at the end was like $1.3 billion. Then you had Barcelona. And Barcelona could provide nostalgia, a return back to the club that he made such a connection with, to the fans. All along the way, there were hiccups. Barcelona had their hands tied. They had to do this, this, and this to get solvent. Remember, they had to part ways in a very messy fashion with Lionel Messi. Was it back in 2022? Don't hold me to that date. Where he left in tears. So I never thought Barcelona was an option because they really fiscally couldn't do it. And La Liga said, you got to clear this to do it. And then Barcelona put their foot in it time and time again. So I always thought Barcelona was a long shot. As much as Messi and his father wanted to go there, it just didn't make sense. Xavi was even asked, and I mean, the audacity of this question, he was asked, do you think Messi makes your team better. And you could, I just read it. I didn't hear the actual interview, but he said, yeah, I do believe we can find a happy middle ground. We can find a spot where Messi makes us better. It wasn't a glowing response because I don't think Messi does make Barcelona better. Barcelona are doing very well on their own. Let those players express themselves. They're going to get better. They have the best academy on the planet, producing all this talent, and players still want to go there. And Messi comes there. It's not so simple. We'll get to MLS and how it's a little simpler for them. You're probably going, wait a minute, why does this always work for Major League Soccer? It wasn't going to be that simple. So Barcelona was a long shot. Even he couldn't pay Barcelona nowhere near the Saudi money and nowhere near the MLS money, quite frankly. So, no, we could take that out. Now, you have two options. For me, if I was consulting Messi, and remember there's this cavalcade of players heading to Saudi Arabia, 300-400% above market value to play there. Guys in the twilight of their career. And by the way, this is also good news for MLS because outside of Messi, maybe a couple others, signing Karim Benzema or N'Golo Kante for crazy money does not make the league better. So Saudi Arabia did MLS a favor by getting those guys off the books. Not even an option. Great. I'd love to see those guys here, but will they make the league better? Will they gobble up salaries? Yes, yes. Thank goodness. I'm telling you, that's a blessing in disguise. Now, I would tell, because I think we're talking about 150 million he might make. We'll get to what he might do in Major League Soccer. 150 million, 200 million, compared to, say, 500 million a year. So if I'm consulting Messi, I say take that money. And you would say he has enough money, which is basically what Messi said today about the move. He goes, I want my happiness. He still has a lot of money. You can always have more money. I would rather that 1.3 billion in the hands of Lionel Messi than the oil barons, whatever we call them, in Saudi Arabia. Not that it makes a difference because they have billions and billions underneath it. We have to bow down to the Middle Eastern oil lords. I mean, what did they raise the price of, because their demand is so high. I mean, I don't want to get on a political statement. I have an electrical vehicle. I am looking for alternate energies, but we're not there yet. So in the meantime, it's so wouldn't mind if we opened up our pipes here a little bit until we were ready to make that transition. Because right now we're like, the whole world is. So they have endless amounts of money. So get back to the footballing side. Despite having that money, I would like him to have it. And this is why I'd like him to have it. Because I think Lionel Messi, I know Lionel Messi's a good dude. I know with that kind of money, he would say, how do I make those around me better off? In case you haven't noticed, his country is constantly, Argentina, in economic woe. And it's getting worse and worse. And the World Cup's going to make it worse because those people don't know what to do down there. Perhaps he can infuse that into his country. Excess money. Perhaps he can rebuild or refurbish the Newell's Old Boys stadiums, his boyhood club. Perhaps he can build the Lionel Messi Academy. All this takes lots of money. Perhaps he can create jobs. Money does that. And I would prefer it was in the hands of Lionel Messi. So him collecting that money is not the worst thing. Plus, how could you resist it? He did. He did. And to me, he has proven the quality of person he is. I know I'm speaking out of both sides of my mouth. I mean, I go for that money. I tell you to go for that money. But if you don't, I'm like, very well played. So now he's not going to be he's not going to be struggling for new boots or anything with this new MLS deal, because the report at The Athletic, which showed that not only was he going to get a cut of Inter Miami, a pathway to his own MLS club, and remember how well that worked out for David Beckham. I mean, that was a windfall. He made millions, hundreds of millions, possibly, I think, on that, because he got an MLS franchise for $25 million. They're now worth $500 million just to get in the door. So Messi gets that. Apparently, he's going to get a cut of Apple and the subscription service for MLS Season Pass, which, by the way, is going to go through the roof. and just to see Messi. And guess what? You have those customers through the door. Maybe they're not going to see Houston Dynamo versus Orlando City, but they still have to pay that. So Messi, it earns that money without question, because the numbers, we won't see them, but I can guarantee you they're going to go whoop. And the idea for MLS, once you have the hook in, you can showcase the league, which has been very good. Messi's a big piece of so many interesting things in this league, which I've seen over the last 4 months traveling all over. It's a good league. There's a lot going for it. So we get some of that Apple. Adidas coming in with a big push. So he might get close to that Saudi money. I don't think he'll get that close. I mean, we're not crazy here. I mean, the thing with this Saudi Arabian football and the Live Tour is they've made money sound so, minuscule. But, like $5,000 for most people is a game changer. And they're talking about $1 billion. Like, okay. It's just weird. It's weird, but it's the world we live in, and money makes the world go round. Hopefully it gets a little different. Maybe because if we had more people like Lionel Messi, it would. Again, don't feel sorry for him. He's going to do very well. But all that money he is earning, because with product, subscriptions, tickets to the games. By the way, if you've seen it online, people are the prices have gone through what a $40 ticket was, now $500. There's no guarantee you're going to see Lionel Messi for those games, but people will still pay it. You don't have to apologize to those people if he doesn't play. He goes, he didn't play. And that's just more money in the coffers. This makes all the difference for this league, which has seen money go out, hasn't seen much money come in other than ownerships. The Apple deal was huge, but this is a singular guy that will get people excited. Every place he goes, it will be euphoria. Maybe the discussion of him being I don't even want to bring it up if he is the biggest addition to MLS. There's no question. I mean, you compare it to David Beckham. And by the way, I was there for David Beckham. I followed him around, and he did so much for this league. He took him from grassroots to kind of big time. He forced the issue for players to get more. Salaries have gone up since then. Conditions have gotten better. Everything since Beckham took over, which he really made that push. He goes, this is not good enough back then. He said, this is not good enough, and the league had to react, and here we are. So David Beckham was phenomenal. Exceeded expectations on the field, off the field. He has set the table, and he's been involved with the league. I can't say enough good things for David Beckham. But this, and David Beckham will be the first to tell you, this is a different level. You're getting a guy who, he is at the height of his popularity and fame. Because he's done it all in the field, we've seen it, and he just recently capped it off 6 months ago, winning a World Cup. We all saw it. We could say it was Messi doing it. This was a collective effort. By the way, I love that team because it was a group of guys who said, we're winning this World Cup for Messi or we are going to die. That's how serious it was, and they did it. Messi now has gone from this, and MLS, what were we told? Wait for them to come down on the back end. Well, and by the way, Beckham was, I think, 32 when he came over, so he came early. We didn't have to wait. We are getting him at the height. I mean, he hasn't got a lot. I mean, he's not going to be able to play at that level, and you can already see it. And he is going to come in at the height across the board, and he said no to Saudi Arabia. He said no to Barcelona. He said no to PSG. He had a pretty decent season at PSG. He had 20 goals, 20 assists. He said yes to Major League Soccer. So everything is going to go up. Profile is going to go up. Apple TV, Apple period, a big part of why this happened. Great partners for MLS. And they just showed the world because everyone's like, whoa, MLS. We would like him here. Every league would like Messi. But one dared to dream it, and they did it. Real quickly about what he will do on the field. Look, he's going to come in the summer. Fabrizio Romano. I don't want to talk about Fabrizio Romano because he got this wrong a couple times. And I saw Michael Ryan and my good friend Duff and other people who have been saying this. They were right. So having this one soccer newsbreaker in this sport is impossible. So I don't want to pretend that he breaks all the stories. He shouldn't do that either. So now He's incredible at what he does, but you can't cover everything. Leave something for someone else. So, on the field, Inter Miami are in last place. He will come. It has to be a slow burn. But could they get in the playoffs? Maybe. I just want to make everyone, there's these jokes or little gifs or memes going out there of the little kids chasing and how Messi is going to school everyone in MLS. It's not going to happen that way. Messi has to find a good position. They got to build around him, which Inter is going to start doing that probably. It's a 2-year deal. They got to start building around him. And I don't think it's going to look all that great at first, maybe a little bit. But I hope we give him some time. He's going to go into Miami in the summer where it's going to be Fort Lauderdale, where it's very hard to play right now. It's going to be a work in progress. Messi's not going to come in here and dominate. Not because he can't, just because it's not an ideal situation. He is coming. Remember, he's been exhausted throughout this stretch. There's a lot up against him. The key is he's in the door. And at one point, he will start to dominate and give us these incredible highlight reel moments. So that is certainly here to come. At the end of the day, also, it said his wife really wanted to come here. Listen to the wife. Happy wife, happy life. There's that Argentine national team training facility coming to Miami. You see it's all happening. CONCACAF and CONMEBOL. Lionel Messi might bridge those two together. I've heard that there is an offer from CONMEBOL to introduce Liga MX and MLS teams to the Libertadores. This guy is incredible. He's just the ultimate needle mover, and he is in soccer, and he's coming to MLS. The Soccer OG. Check out the Soccer OG podcast where all podcasts are available. Like and subscribe us here. Do it, because we have a lot of good content coming your way.